Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to the East Stewart Grant Center on Averett University's North Campus here in beautiful Danville, Virginia. On a chilly afternoon, we are about 7 minutes away from the start of senior night here at Averett, senior day, excuse me. And today's matchup will feature the Spirits of Salem College versus your Averett University Cougars. I'm former Assistant Sports Information Director Davin Wilson. I will be on the ones and twos for today's game as the Cougars honor 5 seniors and hoping to send each one of those 5 out with the dub here today. So first off, we're just going to do a basic rundown here. Salem coming in looking for its first win of the season. The Spirits currently sit at 0-23 overall, 0-15 in the USA South. Meanwhile, Averett comes in 16-8, 10-5 in the USA South. And the Cougars, as I mentioned earlier, will be recognizing seniors Zanish Chambers, Raven Johnson, Samantha Texan, Kiara Smith, and Brooke Carthon. Of course, the Cougars will be looking to get back into the win column following a 74-62 loss to NC Wesleyan College on the road last time out. And the Spirits arrive still in search of their first victory, having dropped a 70-41 decision to William Peace the last time out. So Averett comes into this contest 11-2 all-time against Salem, dating back to the two sides' first meeting in 2004. They have won 7 straight games against the Spirits, including a 77-42 victory earlier this season. So a couple of players to watch here. Of course, you got freshman Courtney Scott, who has had a absolutely incredible first season here at Averett in Danville. She was named to the D3Hoops.com Team of the Week this week. And also, sophomore Cameron Lunsford also has been on fire lately, scoring double digits in 14 of Averett's 24 games this season. So while we are here today honoring the veteran leadership of 5 seniors, the Cougars are definitely going to be all right on the other end once they leave, as they have quite a youth movement going on with those 2 underclassmen, including the freshman Scott and the sophomore Lunsford. So first off, we're just going to take a look here at some notes on the seniors. Brooke Carthon, obviously, if you have been a fan of Averett's women's program for the past 4 years, you know this name very well. She turned in one of the Cougars' top season scoring performances in school history last season, racking up 450 points and scoring in double digits in 23 of 27 games last season. She also recorded 5 double-doubles last year, including an 18-point, 18-rebound performance against Mary Baldwin. She has already surpassed Averett legend Pam Dabbs against Methodist for 3rd place on Averett's all-time scoring list. She just needs 77 points to pass Michelle Warner for 2nd all-time. She has scored 322 points through 24 games this season and is averaging 13.8 points per game to go along with 8.5 rebounds. She also ranks 3rd all-time with 1,366 points and is 5th with 796 career rebounds. So we're going to move down now to Miss Zanish Chambers. She has appeared in 22 games this season, averaging 0.8 points per game, 1 rebound, and 0.3 assists over the season. She played in 26 games as a junior last year, averaging 1.3 points and 1.5 rebounds per game. She's scored a season-high 7 points against against William Peace, January 6th of that year. And she also, as a sophomore, she played in 20 games, averaging 1.5 points and 1.9 rebounds per game, and scored a season-high 7 points that year against Pfeiffer. Adding to those totals, as a freshman, she played in 7 games, averaging 2.4 points per game and 1 rebound. She has scored 100 total career points and has reached her career high in points twice with 7, and also reached her career high in rebounds with 6 against Mary Baldwin last season, January the 30th. So Raven Johnson has appeared. We'll move on now to the Cougars' third senior. Raven Johnson, who has appeared in 24 games this year, making 22 starts, averaging 10 points and 8.3 rebounds per game. She also appeared in 27 games as a junior, starting in 25 of those, averaging 8.1 points and 9.6 rebounds per game. She grabbed a career-high 19 boards against William Peace January 6th, tallied 5 double-doubles while grabbing double-digit rebounds in 13 games. As a sophomore, Johnson appeared in all 27 games, starting in 26. She averaged 7.9 points per game and 9.9 rebounds per game, scored a career-high 21 points against Piedmont, and also grabbed a career-best 16 rebounds twice. She played in 5 games as a freshman, averaging 1.2 points per game and 1.4 rebounds. She has totaled 675 points during her career. So we will now move on to Averett's fourth senior this year, which is Miss Samantha Texan, another name that you are used to hearing if you are a member, if you are a fan of this Averett program. She played in 22 games as a freshman, averaging 1.5 points per game, earned USA South Academic All-Conference honors. She also played in 27 games as a sophomore, making 7 starts, averaging 4.4 points and 2.2 rebounds per game. Played in 27 as a junior, making 2 starts, and is also a member of Averett's 1,000 point club with 1,338 total career points. So we're actually going to take a pause here for a moment, just a quick pause. Averett University Sports Information Director Drew Wilson and his wonderful staff over here have put together a very good senior day video here for you guys, and we will be playing that here in about 2 seconds, 1 second, and that is gonna be our mark to go ahead, and we're gonna give it another second, wait for the okay from Sports Information Director Drew Wilson to go ahead and get this thing started. And while we are waiting, we will go ahead and take a look here at Averett's final senior, Kiara Smith, a local standout here. She played at George Washington High School, just about 10 minutes up the road from the Grant Center. Very legendary program in GW, multiple Class 3, Class 4 state champions. And Smith has been a big force here as well for the Cougars. And we're going to go ahead and get this video started here.
Fans, at this time, please turn your attention to the court as we honor the 2019-20 Averett University women's basketball senior class. These 5 seniors have dedicated so much of themselves to the program over the last 4 seasons. Head coach Abby Diop and her assistants are proud to call these players their own for their contributions that they have made to the program and the university as a whole. Our first senior is number 10, Zenise Chambers. A native of Ashburn, Virginia, Zenise has been a key contributor off the bench for the Cougars, appearing in 75 games over her career. She's about 100 points, 106 rebounds, and 42 assists, and was also selected to the WBCA So You Want to Be a Coach program, which takes place this coming April at the National Coaching Convention in New Orleans. In addition to basketball, Zenise has been a contributor on campus through SGA and other organizations. Double majoring in sports medicine and coaching with a minor in communications, Zenise is being escorted today by her parents Denise and Mikael Coleman, along with brothers Marquise, Kenneth, and Tony. Let's give it up for Zenise Chambers. Our next senior is number 11, Raven Johnson. A forward from Lanham, Maryland, Raven has been one of the top rebounders in the USA South for 3 straight seasons while playing in 83 games and making 73 starts. During that time, Johnson has racked up 675 points, 103 assists, and currently ranks 8th all-time with 732 rebounds. Majoring in communications with a minor in African and African American studies, Raven is joined today by her mother, Christina, father, Roger, sister, Ashley, and niece, Lily. Let's give it up for Raven Johnson. Our next senior is number 13, Samantha Texan. A native of Fredericksburg, Virginia, Samantha has appeared in 98 games, making 11 starts, 339 points, 176 rebounds, and 71 assists. Texan has also earned USA South Academic All-Conference honors during her career. Majoring in biomedical science with a minor in psychology, Samantha is joined today by her mother, Alyssa Kando, and brother, Davey. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Samantha Texan. Our next senior is number 20, Kiara Smith. A native of Danville, Virginia, Kiara has appeared in 89 games, making 32 career starts, while accruing 484 points, 260 rebounds, and 92 assists. Smith's top-scoring performance came against Greensboro on January 26, 2019, where she tallied a career-high 19 points to help the Cougars defeat the Pride and preserve the 2019 USA South East Division title. Double majoring in sports medicine and coaching with a minor in business administration, Kiara is escorted today by her mother, Tamika Hairston, and grandmother, Jackie Hairston. Let's give it up for Kiara Smith. Our last senior is number 24, Brooke Carthon. A native of Atlanta, Georgia, Brooke has been the staple in the Cougars' front court and has climbed through the record books during her time at Averett. Carthon has appeared in 105 games, making 69 starts, currently ranks 3rd all-time with 1,366 career points, and 5th all-time with 796 rebounds. Additionally, Carthon was selected to the USA South All-Conference First Team and East Division First Team in 2018-19, as well as the All-State Second Team and All-Region Third Team. Double majoring in criminal justice and sociology with a minor in African and African American studies, Brooke is joined today by her parents Maria and Ricky Carthon and brother Ricky. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Brooke Carthon. Let's give another round of applause to your 2019-20 Averett University Women's Basketball Senior Class.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the E. Stewart Grant Center. As you have just heard a terrific audio piece put together by Sports Information Director Drew Wilson and his terrific staff over here, Joseph Swanson and Daniel Lacey, who have both done an incredible job in their time here at Averett. Of course, Daniel very close to closing out his graduate assistantship here at Averett. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening to this tonight and are looking to possibly get into collegiate athletics, or really athletics of any kind, definitely consider a graduateship, as it really gives you a great amount of experience, practical experience, and also on top of that, earn a master's degree from a fine university. And we're going to pause for a moment for the national anthem. And we would like to give a shout out to the Averett University Pep Band over there for that gorgeous rendition of the national anthem. And we are now just a few moments away from the start of today's game. And we're going to pick up where we left off here with the senior rundown. And, of course, we were focusing on Kiara Smith at the end. She played in 11 games as a freshman, averaging 2 points and a rebound per game. She also appeared in 27 games as a sophomore, averaging 4.4 points and 3.6 rebounds per game. She played in 27 games as a junior, making 26 starts, averaging 8.3 points and 3.9 rebounds per game. Scored a career-high 19 points in a win over Greensboro January 26th, and grabbed a career-high 11 rebounds against Meredith February 6th. She appeared in 24 games as a senior, making 6 starts, averaging 5 points and 1.9 rebounds per game, and has recorded 484 total career points. Her career high in points is 19 against Greensboro January 26th, and her career high in rebounds is 10 against Mary Baldwin February 1st. So we're going to take a look here at the game breakdown. The Cougars are coming off a tough 64-62 loss to NC Wesleyan College last time out. Freshman Courtney Scott earned D3Hoops.com Team of the Week honors despite the loss. Meanwhile, Salem enters the game looking for its first win of the season after a 70-41 loss to William Peace University his last time out. We're going to take a look here at the overall series. Averett holds an 11-2 all-time record against Salem, dating back to the two teams' first meeting almost 16 years ago in 2004. The Cougars are riding a 7-game winning streak against the Spirits, including a 77-42 victory earlier this week. So right now, Averett currently sits in third in the conference's East Division with a 10-5 record now that we are getting to the end of the season. They are 3 games out of second place, right behind NC Wesleyan, and Averett trails top-seeded William Peace by 5 games. So now we're going to take a look here at some of the impact players for the Spirits. They include sophomore Sidney Brown, who leads the Spirits in scoring average with 11.3 points per game. Freshman Elise Brooks has also been a factor, close behind with 10.5 points per game. Freshman Aubrey Slaughter has also played a key role for the Spirits this year, coming in third with 8.1 points per game. Slaughter also leads in rebounds per game with 8.4, and sophomore Lauren Privet is right behind her teammate Slaughter with 7.9 points per game. And freshman Haley McKinney rounds out the top 3 with 6 per game. So thank you for joining us here on the URW pregame show. Of course, we are ready to get started here as these two teams are going to battle it out. And here we go. So ball going out of bounds on the tip-off. So a neutral tip-off to start things off. And Salem will get the game's first possession, as it is number 3 Bowen giving it off to Brooks. Brooks, the 5'6" freshman guard out of Charlotte. Shot does not fall. It is Averett there with the rebound, senior Zanice Chambers. Chambers a quick dish to Texan, but right back to Chambers. So Chambers gets it back out to Texan. Texan over to Brooke Carthon. So Carthon a pass over to Kiara Smith. Kiara Smith driving in. Ball swatted away by number 12, Aubrey Slaughter. Averett with the offensive board, though. And that is going to be, that will be number 11, Raven Johnson, also a senior, going in for the layup. Does not get it to fall. Sydney Bowen with the rebound for the Spirits. So Bowen trying to get some space in the paint. She's going to drop it back off to Brooks. Brooks looking around the perimeter. Gives it off to number 13, Deion Sampson, the freshman guard out of Burlington, North Carolina. Not too far away from Danville, Virginia. Probably about 45 minutes. And there's the inbound from Smith to Chambers. So Chambers looking to try to set up Averett's first points of the game. Gives it over to Smith. Smith back over to Carthon. Carthon back over to Smith. Smith is going to get it over to Texan. Texan gets it back over to Chambers. 12 seconds remain on the shot clock. Chambers gets it over to Smith. Smith with the three from the top of the key and will not get it to fall. Spirits ball. 8:39 left here in the opening quarter. Neither team able to find the score sheet yet, as it remains a 0-0 game. And there's the pass from Bowen over to Brooks. And Bowen with the ball now gets it over to number 13, Sampson. Sampson over to number 12, Slaughter. Slaughter gets it back over to Sampson. Sampson looking to try to set something up here. He's going to try to move in, gives the ball over to number 4, Brooks. Brooks puts up the shot, and she will get it to fall. And Salem with a quick 3-0 lead here. So Chambers is going to get it over to Texan. Texan back over to Smith. Smith gets it over to Johnson. Johnson inside to Carthon. Carthon with a little pump fake goes back up, kisses it off the square. 3-2 ball game now. 7:46 left in the opening quarter. And so that's going to be number 3, Bowen, driving in, and that ball is going to get away from her. Salem maintains possession as Sampson is there. Sampson over the top to Slaughter, and that ball is knocked away, collected by Smith, who quickly gets it down the court. Smith over to Texan. Texan, a deadly three-point shooter for the Cougars. Smith back over to Texan. Texan with the jump shot from the right side, does not get it to fall. Carthon with the rebound, and Carthon is going to get hit for the extra step there. Salem will take over possession. So number 2, Kayla Harris, the freshman guard out of Charlotte, into the game. So Brooks with it now, and Brooks a pass over to number 21, Privet. Privet gets it back to Bowen. And Bowen's just taking her time right now, playing the role of a point guard. Sophomore, and she's going to try to drive in and do it herself. Left-handed layup, does not fall. Chambers with the board. Chambers trying to set something up, get the Cougars in front, as neither team was able to get on the board for the first minute and a half. It was Bowen's three-pointer, and there's a three from Carthon, and she gets nothing but the nylon on that one. And Averett has its first lead of the game at 5-3. So Dion Simpson now, or Sampson, excuse me, with the ball for the Spirits. Little bounce pass over to number 2, Harris, or excuse me, number 21, Privet. So Privet trying to drive in, well guarded by, and there's a jump shot, no good. Kayla Harris on the attempt. Averett coming down with the defensive board, and there's a floater over the top. Good eyes there by Texan to see Carthon. Smith puts up the three-pointer and make it 2 in a row from three-point range for Averett. And that is going to give the Cougars an 8-3 lead, and that is going to get this Averett home side. And there is the three attempt from Bowen, and Bowen knocks it down. So both teams right now playing a little peekaboo with each other from three-point range, and it's led to an 8-6 ball game with 5.5 remaining in the opening 10. So Chambers over the top to Carthon. Carthon pulls it down one-handed, pass deflected, goes to Texan, and that is Raven Johnson going in with the hook layup, 10-6. And Coach Lewis for Salem wants a timeout. We're going to take it with him here on the Averett Sports Network. Averett in front, 10-6, 5:14 left in the opening quarter. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Eastwood Grant Center over here at Averett University's North Campus here in Danville, Virginia. 10-6 Averett if you're just joining us. There have been the two teams have combined for 3 3-pointers over the last couple of minutes to break up in what has started as a low-scoring game. 16 points combined in the opening 5 between these two sides. So Chambers is going to get over to Smith. Smith puts up another 3 and counted as 2 now for Kiara Smith. 13-6 Averett, as Smith now 2 for 3 from 3-point range. Great start for the Cougars guard here on her senior day. One of 5 seniors being honored, and some physical play down in the paint. Salem gets the ball out of the post, works it back up to the key. Texan there with the steal, gets it over to Chambers, but Chambers facing 3 Salem defenders. Great defense there by the Spirits. That ball will deflect off a Salem player, though, and go out of bounds. Setting up an Averett possession here, as the Cougars hold a 13-6 lead with 4:15 remaining in the opening frame. So there's Chambers with the inbound over to Smith. Smith gets it over to Carthon. And Carthon showing off some fancy handwork there. She almost pulled a David Blaine. Guess which hand the ball is in right there. She switched very quickly over from her right to her left. And more impressively, did it all without really paying much attention to the ball. Still looking, trying to set up that shot, and she did a great job there as the defender had her marked on the right side and switching up over there to that left hand, trying to get the uncontested shot. So that's going to be number 3, Bowen now. And that is going to be a foul whistled on Bowen and the Spirits. 13-6 is your score. 3:52 left in the first period. So Courtney Scott into the game for the Cougars. Also looks like number 21, sophomore Cameron Lunsford out of Apex, North Carolina, right outside of Raleigh, will be entering in, and she is in now. And Chambers gets it over to Lunsford. Lunsford over to Carthon. Carthon well guarded by Harris. Carthon a little dump pass back out to Lunsford. Lunsford gets it out to number 23, Scott. And there is another 3 from Chambers. Does not fall. It's going to be a jump ball whistled. And Averett will get to maintain possession after the jump ball call. So Chambers gets it over to Carthon. Carthon, underhand toss to Chambers. Chambers inside to Texan, who was running, and Texan knocks it down, moving on her feet. And ladies and gentlemen, you're talking about high IQ basketball right there. And Johnson will get the bucket, and she'll also get the and one attempt. And here it comes. And there it is, and there's the knockdown from Johnson. 16-6 now, as Averett is on a 6-0 run, and there's a steal from Scott. Scott puts up the jumper, does not fall. It's going to be number 2, Harris, coming down with the board there. She's going to get it out to number 12, Slaughter. Slaughter back over to number 21, Prevette. And that ball is a 3-pointer from number 13, Sampson. 16-9 is the score, as Averett had built its lead to double digits. And that 3, though, from Sampson will quickly get that back down to 7. Carthon driving in, and she has a little trouble on the handle, but she will also get whistled for a foul in the process. So we've got number 3, Bowen, checking back into the game for the Spirits. And then you've got number 3, Genesis Whiters, coming into the game for the Cougars. Whiters, the sophomore forward out of Monix Corner, South Carolina. So number 3, Bowen, and she is going to get hit for the extra step there. So a travel call will give Averett the ball back with 2:43 remaining in the opening quarter. Both teams have knocked down some threes as they have combined for 5 total. So there is Scott to Whiters. Whiters gets it over to Chambers. So Chambers back over to Johnson. Johnson gets it over to Lunsford. Lunsford over the top to Whiters. Whiters, a nice pass to Johnson, but just a little bit too high.
Checking in for the Cougars, number 5.
So it's going to be number 5, Raina Davis Robinson, checking in for the Cougars. And so Salem is going to get the restart. And it's going to be number 3, Bowen, with the ball. Bowen trying to set something up. She gets it over to number 21, Brevet. Brevet over to number 4, Brooks. Brooks back over to Bowen. Bowen back over to Brooks. Brooks with the trade, does not fall. Whiters there using that 6-foot frame to come down with the board. So Lunsford now. Lunsford gets it over to Scott. Scott gets it back over to Whiters. Whiters over to Lunsford. Lunsford gets it over to Johnson. So there is Scott with the 3. Scott can shoot the 3 ball, as we've seen multiple times throughout this season. And so that's going to be number 4, Brooks. And Brooks tries to get it into Bowen, but she's going to be whistled for the travel. 16-9. So we've got number 42, Caroline Deal, and number 2, Kayla Harris checking back into the game.
Harris and Deal back in for the Spirits.
For the Spirits. 1:27 remaining. 16-9 is the score in favor of the Cougars. So Lunsford, little one-handed pass to Whiters. Whiters back over to Lunsford. Lunsford inside to Johnson. Johnson with a little spin move, puts up the jumper, gets it to fall. 18-9 now with 1:08 remaining in the opening period. So that's going to be number 3, Bowen now with the ball. Bowen a little bounce pass over to number 42, Deal, and 42 Deal gets the hoop. 18-11 now, 47 ticks remaining on the clock. So right now it is number 23, Scott, with the ball, the freshman guard out of Hopewell, Virginia. She puts up the jump shot, no good. Bowen grabs the rebound. So Scott, coming from a traditionally rich basketball area in the greater Richmond metro area. Little inside pass intended for Bowen, but had a little bit too much sauce on it, and that ball is going to go out. So Averett will take over with about 20 ticks left on the clock. And Lunsford, shot clock off, and Averett's probably just going to play for last shot here. Ball over to Scott, who makes a great across-the-court pass to Lunsford. And I believe Lunsford is going to draw the foul. Yes, she will. It's number 3, Sidney Bowen, the sophomore guard out of Gastonia, North Carolina.
Team's third.
That is actually the team's 3rd foul. Her first. Or 2nd, excuse me. So there's the inbound from Robinson. And that ball is going to go off an Averett player and out of bounds. So Salem is going to regain possession, facing an 18-11 deficit here so far. And there is a long attempt from number 13, Sampson, that will not fall. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to bring us in. It's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. Averett 18, Salem 11. We'll be right back on the Averett Sports Network. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the East Stewart Grant Center as we have started the second quarter, Averett holding an 18-11 lead, 9:50 left to go in the opening 20 minutes. So both teams had trouble finding the board at first. Took about a minute and a half for the game's first bucket. Game stayed pretty close. Then Averett used its hot three-point shooting to build a 10-point advantage, but Salem hanging around thanks to its own three-pointing abilities. So that is Lunsford getting it over to number 23, Scott, who drizzles the net on that one. 21-11 is now your score. So that's going to be number 13, Sampson, with the ball. Little spin move, bounce pass intended for Slaughter. That ball will go out of bounds, though. Last touch by the Cougars. Hard to believe we're near the end of another regular season here in Averett University women's basketball, USA South Conference women's basketball. So number 12, Slaughter. Slaughter well guarded by Smith. And Slaughter is going to draw the foul, I believe. Yes, and Smith will get hit with the foul. That is Smith's first personal foul, team's first. And that will bring Slaughter, the freshman forward out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, to the line. Slaughter, the hometown kid, one of three for the Spirits. In nearby Winston-Salem, about an hour and 15-minute trip from Danville. Second shot, no good. Smith there for the rebound. Very fast-growing area Winston-Salem is down there. Done a lot of work with the downtown area. Expanded and remodeled the hospital, and it's a bustling little area. And Smith tries to get Carthon, but she was forced to do a 360 to try to get around Salem's defense, and it ended up leading to a forced turnover. And there's the pass from number 4, Brooks, intended for Harris, but a little bit too much mustard. Averett now with it. There's Robinson with the three ball, and she knocks it down. 24-11. Averett, 8:20 remaining in the first half. Number 13, Sampson. I believe that is the 4-3 of the game for the Cougars. That's going to be number 2, Harris, with the shot from right in front of three-point range. So Scott, a nice pass over to Robinson, and she now has two back-to-back. She now has back-to-back threes, and that is Scott, and that has got Scott and this Cougars team and Cougars fan base going nutso up here. 27-11. So Robinson's first shot came about left center of the perimeter, and this second one coming from the right side. So Robinson saying it really doesn't matter which side of the court you give me the ball. If you give me the ball and I've got a little bit of space, I can knock it down for you. And Averett now, its biggest lead of the game at 16. 27-11 with 7:53 remaining in the period. We'll take a look here and see what Coach Lewis and her assistant Essence Brown can say to Salem to hope to get the Spirits, keep the Spirits encouraged and keep them moving, because this ball game is far from over. Still just under 28 minutes to play in the contest, so plenty of time here for the Spirits to stage a comeback, and plenty of time, though, also for Averett to keep building on its already 16-point lead. And there's the pass from Slaughter to Brooks. Brooks puts up the jumper, does not fall. Carthon gets the rebound. So Carthon driving in, and again, some fancy handwork there. She has started to go to the right side, ends up switching to the left, and switching directions, and in the process, she will draw a foul from Sampson, her first personal, team's first. So Smith with the ball, and she drives in, but dishes off to Texan, and Texan with the Tim Duncan-style jumper there, kissing it off the box. 29-11, 7:20 remaining in the opening half, and that pass is going to be tipped by Smith. The Spirits will get the ball. Number 21, Lauren Privet, entering the game for the Spirits. Privet, the 6'1" sophomore forward center out of Statesville, North Carolina. Down there around the greater Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, Cary area. Ball put up, rebound collected, offensive board by Aubrey Slaughter. So Averett right now, as I mentioned earlier in the URW pre-game show, holds an overall 11-2 record against Salem, and currently riding a 7-game winning streak against the Spirits. Slaughter's first shot, unable to get it to fall. And see what she can do with the second one. And here it comes. Second shot will not fall either, off the back iron. It's number 11, Johnson, with the board. So Johnson, a bounce pass over to Chambers. Chambers with a spin move, gets it over to Robinson. And Robinson puts one up from the parking lot. That one was just about from Harlem Globetrotters range right there. She will not get it to fall, though, and the ball deflects off the iron, out of bounds. Salem will get possession, so Slaughter is going to get it over to number 21, Privet, and we are going to have a foul on the play, I believe. Yeah, so Texan is going to get hit for the foul. It is her first personal, team second. 29-11 is your score. Averett with the early advantage here, and it's going to be number 12, Slaughter, going up for the layup. She will not get it to fall. Ball, and it's going to be Brooke Carthon picking up her second personal, team fourth. And it's going to be number 3, Wieters, coming into the game for the Cougars. As Carthon already with 2 fouls. Abby Diop knows how important Carthon is to her team's success, so is going to sit her on the bench for a minute. So Slaughter's first shot up and in. 29-12, 6:40 remaining here in the opening half. And the second shot is up. It's not going to fall. And Chambers with the defensive board there. So Chambers gets it over to Texan. Texan gets it back over to Robinson. Robinson over to Wieters. Wieters puts up the shot, will not fall. Johnson battling for the board. Are we going to have a jump ball call here? We are.
Jump ball, possession, Averett.
And the Cougars will get to keep possession. So number 42, Deal, back into the game for the Spirits, and number 23, Courtney Scott, back into the game for the Cougars. And it is going to be number 13, Texan, the senior, on the inbound. She gets it over to Raven Johnson, and there's a foul on the play. It's going against the Spirits. Harris getting charged with her first personal, team second. There's the inbound pass to Miss Raven Johnson, the senior forward out of Atlanta, Maryland, attendee of Potomac Senior High School. About a 5-hour trip up the road from Danville, up 29.95, which either way you really decide to go, 295. If you're not a big fan of the interstate, 29 is probably the best way to go. And we've got a player down on the court, Salem player down on the court, trying to see who it is. It looks like Kayla Harris. And it looks like she might have tweaked her ankle a little bit on that play. 31-12 is your score. 5:56 remaining. And we're going to take a break here on the Averett University Sports Network, as it seems like it is a rather involved injury down here. So we'll be right back. 31-12. And actually, no, she is up and walking off Harris. And really favoring what looks like her right leg. We hope she can get back into the game. We see it's already braced up. We wish her the best of luck on that. The 5'2" freshman guard out of Charlotte, North Carolina. So Averett on the restart. And it is going to be number 10, Chambers, with the ball. So Chambers gets it over to Scott, and Scott launches a tray, and she might have to validate that shot as she hit it from long range. 34-12, 5:31 remaining. We have seen Scott make those shots all year, though, as she has been the Cougars' go-to player when they need the three ball, or even if they don't need the three ball, as she has proven she can really knock them down. So 34-12 is the score, as it is going to be Prevette with the first shot. She's unable to get it to fall. So Averett coach Abby Diop, and second shot is good, so 1-2. Not a bad mark, 50%. So 34-13 now, 5:16 remaining in the first half. So Chambers, and Chambers, a nice bounce pass into Wieters. Shot does not fall, but Averett really showing some athleticism, some coordination. They're also showing a lot of high game IQ, as they know where each other are on the court at all times. And there's a quick turnover, and it's going to be Scott driving down. Scott with the right-handed layup on the fly and gets it to fall. And ladies and gentlemen, get used to hearing the name Courtney Scott here at Averett, as she will definitely be a big-time player. You don't need a psychic or a look into a crystal ball to be able to tell that one. You just need to look at her performance out here on the court. So there's a pass over to Courtney Scott. So Scott trying to get it inside. He's going to get it over to Wieters, who knocks down the shot. And 38-13 as Wieters' jump shot will tickle the twine. Got my words out of order there. I apologize. So it's going to be number 13, Sampson, now with the ball. Sampson gets it over to number 12, Slaughter. Slaughter gets it over to Bowen. Bowen puts up the jumper, gets it to fall. 38-15 is now your score. 3:39 left in the opening period. So it's going to be Zanice Chambers, gets it over to Texan. Texan trying to drive in. She's going to put up the jumper, does not get it to fall. It is going to be Bowen there with the defensive rebound over to number 12, Slaughter. Slaughter puts it up, and excuse me, I think that was number 13, Sampson, with that shot. It was. So Sampson makes it a 21-point ball game at 38-17. Averett has really established dominance here in the second quarter, breaking open what was a 6-point game at the end of the period. And there's a little bit of fortuitous bounce there for the Cougars, as the pass actually deflects off a Salem defender and off an Averett offensive player. Averett will end up maintaining possession as Texan reeled it in, drew the foul in the process. So Number 42, Deal, back into the game for the Spirits, and Carthon and Lunsford into the game for the Cougars, as it's going to be number 13, Texan, at the line. Texan, the 5'5" senior guard out of Fredericksburg, Virginia, knocks down her, or will miss her first attempt. And second one will not fall either, as it's going to be number 12, Slaughter, grabbing the defensive board. So it's going to be number 4, Brooks now. And Brooks gets it over to number 21, Prevette. Prevette puts it up, and she is going to get hit with the charge in the process. Prevette, the 6'1" sophomore, Statesville, North Carolina is where she hails. That is Harris's first foul, team's 4th. And so Lunsford now getting the ball down the court. Lunsford gives it over to Scott. Scott, a bounce pass over to Carthon. Carthon back over to Smith. Smith with the J, and will not fall, and it is going to be Carthon that it deflects off of, and Salem will get possession. Here with 2:23 remaining in the opening frame, or in the opening half. So number 13, Sampson, now with the ball. And bounce pass over to Deal. So Deal looking for number 21, Prevette, unable to find her. Lunsford on the run. Lunsford puts it up, can't get it to fall. Smith with the offensive board, and Smith puts up a 3 after showing a little trickery. Carthon with the rebound, puts it back up uncontested, 41-17, and Carthon just continues her stellar career here at Averett. I know Diop and her assistants, Annalie Bollinger and Christine Mabry, will miss her. That is a Sampson bucket right there, 41-19. They're going to miss her presence. All of these seniors recruited by former coach, Averett coach Liz Huddy. And there is Scott on the 3 on the pass from Smith. And Scott is going to throw up the hand in celebration after that one, and why not? What a year this young lady is having. 44-19 now, 1:03 left in the first half. So Salem really, and there is a 3-point shot from Brooks that will not go down. Deal with the rebound though. She will put up the hook shot, can't get it to fall. Scott with the rebound. Scott over to Smith. Smith driving in. And this Averett team, as far as their handwork and footwork, really big. Don't want to say improvement, but you know what I mean. So Robinson into the game now for the Cougars. Number 12, Slaughter, into the game for the Spirits. But really showing that coordination, both hand and feet, hand-eye, foot coordination, very solid. Also, as I mentioned earlier, Cougars game IQ, and Smith's first free throw in, 45-19. Really one of the big factors in this game tonight, Averett really just knowing where each other are at all points. 45-19, 37 seconds remaining. There is the pass over to Sampson. So Sampson driving in, and I believe that is going to be a foul whistle on the Cougars. It looks like Lunsford went down for a second, but she's up. The foul will be charged to Lunsford, her first personal. And Lunsford looking for the ball, which is gone back behind a trash can over on the north end of Averett's campus, or the, not Averett's campus, but the East Stewart Grant Center. 45-19, 30.3 remaining in the first half. There's a shot from Harris. She will get it to fall. And that is actually Slaughter. No, excuse me, Sampson at the line. Sampson's second shot falls, and it's a 45-21 game now, and 28 seconds remain here in the first half. Second quarter has all been Averett. Carthon with the jump shot, trying to erase those 2 free throws, and Lussler with the rebound, and an incredible off-balance shot there. Gets it to fall 47-21. And see, right now, Brooks probably just playing for last shot. She's running out of time, though. She tries to get it, but the shot is swatted. Robinson there to collect it. And Smith coming through with a big knockdown right there. So that is it for the opening 20 minutes here in Danville. Averett with a 47-21 lead. We will be right back with the FMS halftime show on the Averett Sports Network. Keep it locked. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Averett University Grant Center as we are about 2 minutes and 16 seconds away from the start of the second half today. And as we all know by now, basketball is a game of quarters. And in this situation, the second quarter belonged to Averett as the Cougars outscored the Spirits 29-10 in the second frame to shoot out to a 47-21 advantage here going into the final half. It was a close game up to the second period, as the first 10 minutes ended with the Spirits just facing a 7-point deficit, but that second quarter was the difference maker. So we're going to take a look here at some stats on the FMS halftime show. First off, some leaders for Salem. Right now, Deion Sampson leads the way with 9 points. Sydney Bowen with 5. She also has 2 rebounds. On the rebounding end, Lauren Privet leads the Spirits, has 4 rebounds, while Aubrey Slaughter leads the Spirits with 5 rebounds, 4 coming on the defensive end. And the Spirits, not a bad performance from beyond the arc in the first half, going 3 of 5 for a 60% shooting performance. But from the floor, they have not been as fortunate as the Spirits are shooting a balmy 7 for 20, 35%. So now we're going to take a look here at some of the leaders for the Cougars. Freshman Courtney Scott having a big day here on Senior Day. She has 11 points. Meanwhile, Raven Johnson has 9. Kiara Smith and Brooke Carthon also celebrating their senior days in style as they have 7 points. Carthon also tied for first right now on the team in rebounds with 4. Denise Chambers also has 4 rebounds, while Raven Johnson and Kiara Smith both with 3. So Averett right now really shooting lights out from the field, 51.4%. They're also not doing too bad from three-point range, as the Cougars have knocked down 8 of their 14 shots for a 57.1 percentage. And let's see if both teams can continue that hot shooting here in the second half. Salem is going to need to if it wants to erase this 26-point deficit that it currently faces. But I have been involved with professional, collegiate, and high school sports now for about 6 years and have seen a lot crazier things. So we will see if Salem can start chipping away at that. Not a great start, as number 13, Sampson, is whistled for the travel. So it's going to be number 11, Raven Johnson, going to get over to Denise Chambers. So Chambers gets it over to Carthon. So Carthon, she's going to put up a jump shot, gets it to fall. 49-21 is now your score, as Carthon just adds point number 9 here on her senior night, well on her way to double-digit scoring. So that's going to be number 4, Brooks, putting up the shot, will not get it to fall. Johnson with the board, and she is going to do a half-court pass intended for Carthon, but a little bit too far to the right, as Carthon is going to look over at Diop and Bollinger and smile along with Christine Mabry. And we'll just offer up a smile there, as that mistake was a good idea, though. And as I mentioned earlier, Averett has really shown a great job of possessing a high game IQ. So deal inside intended for number 21, Brevet, nothing going. So Carthon now, and Carthon inside to Johnson. And 51-21 is now your score, as Johnson now crosses over into double digits with 11. Number 4, Brooks, looking to try to make something happen, and she is going to draw the foul from Texan. Texan's second personal, team first. And it's going to be number 2, Kayla Harris on the inbound for the Spirits. And pass over the top to number 13, Sampson. Sampson into Bowen. Bowen puts up the jumper, will get it to fall. And we're going to have a foul in the process. And Bowen will go to the line.
Bowen at the line for 1 shot.
So Kiara Smith picking up her 3rd personal, team 2nd. And Bowen's and 1 attempt goes through, 51-24. Carthon inbounds to Chambers. Chambers, a bounce pass intended for Johnson, but the ball will deflect off of Johnson's foot, and that will give the ball back to the Spirits. 8:26 remaining in this 3rd quarter. 51-24 is your score. So Smith tries to get the inbound in, but interrupted by Deal. But Deal was the last to touch it, so Averett will get to maintain possession. So Smith finds Carthon under the basket, and Carthon puts it up. And that is double digits now for Carthon, as she is now at 11 points. 53-24. Bowen with the ball. Is going to get it over to number 13, Sampson. Sampson puts up the J, and she is going to get it to fall. And 53-26 now the score. So Salem showing a little bit of improvement here from inside the paint. So Smith over to Chambers. Chambers driving in, but she's going to give it off to Texan. Of course, the Spirits did shoot well from beyond the perimeter in the first half, as the Spirits went 3 of 5, 60%. So Lunsford back into the game for the Cougars. 7:49, 27-point game at 53-26. Texan into Johnson, and Johnson is going to draw the foul from Deal. And it's actually going to be number 13, Sampson. That is Sampson's 3rd personal, team 2nd. And so Raven Johnson will go to the line. 53-26 Averett. And first shot up and good. So Johnson on her senior night, she ended up finishing with 9 in the first half. She already has 3 now here in the second, putting her total up to 12, looking to make it 13 with this freebie. And that's exactly what she will do, is she will knock down another jumper, or another free throw, excuse me. 55-26, 7:48 left in the 3rd quarter. Salem with the ball. Bowen calling out plays, playing her role as point guard. She's going to get it up to Brooks. So Brooks trying to create some space. She's going to pump left, move left, and get to right outside the 3-point range. Gets it to fall, 55-28. So there's the pass over to Lunsford. Lunsford with the long 3 in front of Averett's bench. Does not get it to fall. It's going to be number 12, Slaughter, getting the rebound. But a great effort there by Zenise Chambers. But in the end, Salem will keep the ball. 55-28 Averett. And I think we're getting a reset on the shot clock here. So 7:18 remains in the 3rd. So far here in the opening period, Averett has outscored in the 3rd period, Averett has outscored the Spirits 8-7. Carthon with the ball. Bounce pass into Texan. Texan over to Chambers, and Chambers is going to finish. So Chambers will get on the board for the first time today in her senior day. And number 4, Brooks now with the ball. So Brooks trying to drive in. She's going to draw the foul. So Brooks very good about using her ability to to drive and to penetrate into the paint to draw some fouls here so far in the second half. And here's the inbounds pass from Salem. Gets it over to Bowen. Bowen with the jumper. She cannot get it to fall. Ball deflected off of Johnson's hands. Carthon comes down with it, gets it out to Chambers. Chambers over to Carthon. Carthon back to Chambers. Chambers puts up the three, knocks it down. And Chambers now with 5 points. She is now 2 away from matching her career high, which she has matched twice. Career high of 7 for that young lady. And she has 5 now in really just last 2 minutes. So Carthon puts it up, cannot get it to fall. Johnson there for the rebound. Carthon pulls it back down. There is number 4, Brooks, with a nice play, a nice steal. Brooks trying to drive in, and she is going to draw the foul, draw the whistle. So looking here at this Salem team, very young, as the Spirits only have 1 senior, and that is number 32, Shanique Farr, 5'7" guard out of Salisbury down there by the Raleigh area. It's going to be number 4, Brooks, now at the line. Her first attempt is no good. Let's see if she can capitalize on the back end. And here comes the second attempt, and that one is going to fall, though. 60-29 is now your score. Averett has now outscored Salem 13-8 in this third period. So Chambers gets it over to Carthon. Carthon thought about passing. It's going to end up moving. She puts up the shot, knocks it down, and draws the foul in the process. And Harris will get whistled for the foul, her second personal, team third. And Carthon at the line for 1. And Miss Brooke Carthon now with 14 points for the Cougars. Carthon last year scored in double digits in 23 of Averett's 27 games. Recorded 5 double-doubles, including an 18-point, 18-rebound performance against Mary Baldwin. She needs just 77 points. Entered this game needing just 77 points to pass Michelle Warner for second all time. Carthon goes up for the layup, and she's got it. That is now 14, so now she just needs 63 points to pass Warner and get right behind her former teammate, Sam Chandler. And that is going to be number 4, Brooks, trying to drive in. She's going to draw the foul coming from Carthon. And actually, Courtney Scott will pick up her first personal, team 5th. If you're just joining us, the second quarter has been the difference maker, as Averett outscored Salem 29-10 to take a 47-21 lead in the break and break open what was an 18-11 game going into the second period. That's going to be number 4, Brooks's first shot falls. 65-30 is now your score. Second shot up and in. So Brooks, who came into the half with 3 points, knocks down both of her attempts from the free throw line, and Chambers' pass, a little bit too much on it, will go out of bounds. Salem will take over possession. So it's going to be number 3, Sidney Bowen, on the inbound to Brooks. So Brooks gets it over to Harris. Harris back over to Brooks. And Brooks is going to get called for the double dribble there.
Back in the Cougars, number 20, Kiara Smith, number 5, Raina Davis-Robinson.
So Smith and Raina Davis-Robinson back into the game for the Cougars. Raina Davis-Robinson right down there near Death Valley, South Carolina, and Rock Hill. Not too far from Clemson University. So Lunsford is going to put up the three. Will not fall. Davis Robinson with the rebound. A bounce pass into Lunsford. Lunsford back out to Smith. Smith thought about the three, changed her mind. Texan bounce pass to Smith.
3-second violation.
And that is going to be a 3-second violation whistled on Averett. And that will be an unforced turnover. That will give Salem the ball with 4:03 left in the third quarter. So it's going to be number 4, Brooks now. It's going to give it off to Bowen. Bowen with the three ball, will not get it to fall. Averett with the rebound, and it's going to be Johnson quickly trying to get the ball down. Does not get it to fall. That is Brooks with the rebound. And Brooks was trying to get a scoring play set up, but recognized the Cougars knew what was coming. Tried to switch it. Averett with the turnover. Raina Davis Robinson, and she is going to run smack dab into the 6-1 privet. And she is up and all right. So in other Averett University athletics action today, Averett University baseball taking on Washington and Lee University. Averett lost the first game 4-2. They trail in the second 4-0. There's the pass. Lunsford is going to collect it. Lunsford gets it over to Johnson. Johnson over to Davis Robinson. Davis Robinson back to Johnson. Johnson over in the corner to Smith. And Smith is going to step on the line, causing the turnover there. Trying to find an update now, see if the Averett softball team is playing. Of course, the men's basketball team hosting Covenant today in a important USA South Conference men's basketball matchup down in Georgia, right outside of Atlanta. Piedmont College actually featured in the, and there is a travel, but Piedmont College actually featured in the Richard Jewell movie. It had to do with the Atlanta Olympics bombing. Excuse me. Back in the early 90s, I believe it was 94. So Johnson over to Wieters. Wieters cannot get the shot to fall. So Averett softball actually, and there's a bucket by number 12, Slaughter. And it is Johnson getting whistled for the foul, the 5'10 senior out of Maryland. And the Averett softball team does not start its season until, and there is a free throw that is not going to fall, so the three-point play will not happen for the Spirits. So Averett softball opening its season against Virginia Wesleyan, which has won the Division III National Championship 2 out of the last 4 years, including back-to-back runs. And that will be a home game, actually a week from today. And so number 13, Sampson puts up the long ball, not going to fall. That is going to be Texan, or Johnson, bringing in the board. Johnson over to Lunsford. Lunsford over to Davis Robinson, who cannot get the shot to fall. Johnson with the rebound, though, cannot get that one to fall. Salem with the defensive rebound, number 12, Slaughter. And Slaughter really doing a great job of walking the line there. Not only staying in bounds, but also keeping possession. Number 13, Sampson with the shot, cannot get it to fall. Johnson with the rebound. Lunsford trying to drive in. Lunsford switches hands to the lead, puts it up. Shot is no good, but she will draw a foul in the process. So 65-33 is your score. It's going to be number 23, Courtney Scott, checking into the game for Averett. So if this result holds up, Averett's 5 seniors will be sent out in style in their last home game here inside the Grant Center. 1:26 remaining, 65-33 ball game. So Lunsford's shot is up and in. 66-33 now with 1:26 left in the third quarter. Second shot will not fall, and that's going to be number 12, Slaughter there for the easy board. So pretty much just fell into her hands on that one. So number 13, Sampson now. Sampson, a bounce pass over to Privet. Privet gets it over to number 13, Sampson. Sampson over to number 12, Slaughter. Slaughter, a bounce pass to Privet with the shot clock running down. She will draw a foul in the process. So Privet, the 6'1" sophomore forward center out of Statesville, North Carolina. So Texan back into the game for Averett. As we were mentioning earlier, Texan has played in 22 games as freshman, averaged 1.5 points per game, scored season-high 9 points against Mary Baldwin. Her junior year, she actually played in 27 games, and that second attempt is good, making 7 starts, averaged 4.4 points and 2.2 rebounds per game. She played in 27 games as a junior, making 2 starts, averaging 4.4 points and 2.2 rebounds per game, and then has played in. And there is a layup from Weeders, will not fall, but she will collect the trash. Ball is tipped, though, by number 4, Brooks. Brooks gets it down the court to Sampson. Sampson, a little pass over to number 21, Privet. And so it's going to end up with Slaughter with the ball in her hands. Not able to get the shot to fall. Davis Robinson with the rebound. Gets over to Texan. 25 seconds remaining. So Texan over to Davis Robinson now. So Davis Robinson now with the ball after the pass over to the corner. So there is Smith. Shot clock running down. Inside pass off the hands of Texan. And a nice play by Averett University music instructor Janet Phillips over there, as she will knock down the pass with a saxophone in her hand. So we have got to give her credit for that one. So final 3 seconds running down. Number 13, Sampson goes up. Will not get it to fall. Davis Robinson with the rebound, and that's going to take us to the fourth quarter. So after 3 full, Averett 66, Salem 34. We'll be right back on the Averett Sports Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the final 10 minutes of this contest are underway. Averett with a 66-34 advantage, Texan. And Texan is going to shoot the long ball off the front iron, will not fall. It's going to be Bowen there with the rebound. She's going to get it over to number 13, who will put the shot up and get it to fall. That is Sampson with the hoop. So now Chambers trying to work the ball around, trying to make something happen. So Texan over to Chambers. Chambers over to Smith. Smith back over to Carthon. Carthon jump shot and gets it to fall. 68-36 as Brooke Carthon continues her march to second place on Averett's all-time scoring list. And it's going to be number 21, Privet. Privet puts a shot up, will not fall. Texan with the rebound. That is, actually it was Johnson with the rebound, excuse me. And a nice hustle play there from Brooks to get that loose ball. And that's going to be number 21 now, Privet. Privet gets it over to Bowen. Bowen back to Privet. And Privet is going to get hit with the walk there. So the theme has been a little bit of old and a little bit of new here for the Cougars thus far, as Averett has gotten solid performances from both its underclassmen and its 5 seniors here tonight. 68-36, 8:33 left in this one. And there is Texan trying to go up. She will not get the shot to fall, but she will draw the foul in the process.
Salem foul charge number 21 That's her second personal, team's first, and the line for the Cougars, Samantha Texan.
And so it's going to be number 2, Harris, checking back into the game for the Spirits. Texan at the line. 68-36, make it 69-36 now. I'll take a quick break here to try to pull up some stats for you guys. Texan, second shot does not fall. Johnson got the board, but it's going to go off her foot, and that will be Salem ball. So far, Averett shooting 50% from the field overall. Salem 34.3%. The Spirits have shot 50% from three-point range, while the Cougars have not done shabby as well, 47.4%. Also, Averett holding the edge right now in rebounds, 34-22, including a 24-19 advantage on the defensive end. Salem with 22 turnovers altogether, Averett with 14. So Dio will get the basket to make it a 69-38 game with 6:45 remaining in this contest. So Salem did a great job of really kind of sticking around in the opening quarter. Only faced a 7-point deficit heading into the second 10-minute interval. But Averett really running away with it from that point on as they outscored the Spirits 29-10 in the second to take a 26-point lead into the break. So scoring-wise, we're going to take a look here at some of the leaders. First off, we're going to look at the leaders for these Spirits. Right now, Sampson has a team-high 13 for the Spirits, and that is going to be number 12, Slaughter, with the bucket. Bowen has 8. Brooks has 8 as well, and now with that last hoop, Slaughter has 5. So we're going to take a look here at rebounds for both teams. Your rebound leaders. So Salem right now, Slaughter has 7, Privet with 6, Bowen with 2, and Deal with 2. So rebounding for the Cougars, Averett's Raven Johnson has 11, Carthon has 6, and there's a tip on the offensive attempt from the Cougars. Averett will maintain possession. Chambers with 4, and Raina Davis with 4. Let's take a look here at points. Carthon leading the way with 18, Johnson 13, Scott with 11, and Smith with 7. And as the shot clock running down, Averett gets up the last second attempt, does not fall. And Salem's going to take a timeout. We're going to take it with him here on the Averett Sports Network. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back in action here at the Grant Center. Salem 29 facing a 29-point deficit right now, 6:13 left in the game. But that 6 minutes might as well be an eternity, as basketball, as we all know, is one of those games that can really turn on its head in a New York minute. To quote the incomparable Billy Joel, or Joel, I don't know why I added a Y to the name right there. And there's a basket from Deal, 69-42, 5:58 remaining. Courtney Scott now with the ball, or excuse me, Cameron Lunsford with the ball for the Cougars. Gets it over to Davis Robinson. So Scott now, a little bounce pass to Lunsford, and there is another three bomb from Davis Robinson, who was going for her third on the afternoon. Third in the second half, nonetheless. So number 13, Sampson, driving in, and she cannot get it to fall. Wieters with the rebound is going to give it out to Cameron Lunsford. So Lunsford gets it over to Wieters. Wieters with the tray, does not fall. And number 4, Brooks, will tip it out. So Carthon back into the game for the Cougars, along with number 12, Aubrey Slaughter for the Spirits. Salem has really showed that it can shoot, that it can knock down the three ball here today, as the Spirits are sitting just under 50% right now from beyond the arc. They also have a good inside game in number 4, Brooks, as she is very good with her hands, very good with her feet. Also, the same can be said for Sydney Bowen. And there is number 12, Slaughter. Tries to go for the rebound. She's going to draw the foul in the process. So Salem is still looking for its first win of the season, but there is a lot of promise here with this Salem team. It's going to be number 12, Aubrey Slaughter, going up for the free throw, and she will get it to fall. 69-43 is now your score. So Coach Lewis, and there's the second attempt there by Slaughter. Coach Lewis has got some promising young players on her hands, and one good thing is she has a roster loaded with freshmen and sophomores, as there is only one senior and one junior. So Scott will knock down the two. So Scott now in double digits as well. And look at Lunsford right down there, taking on two Salem attackers. She will knock the ball away and get the hoop herself. Lunsford showing off a little bit down there on the defensive end in the paint. So number 12, Slaughter, driving up. Wieters with the rebound, gives it off to number 5, Davis Robinson. Robinson over to Scott. Scott gets it all the way across to Lunsford. Lunsford up with the three. Will not fall. She will collect her own rebound, though. So Lunsford inside to Wieters. Wieters with the spinning jumper. Swatted away. Wieters puts it back up. Can't get it to fall. Number 12, Aubrey Slaughter, right back. And look at Lunsford again getting in with the swipe. And Lunsford keeps this up too much longer. And the officials are going to have to start charging her with felony theft, as she has picked up two big steals here, one of them leading to a hoop here in the last 2 minutes. And so Salem wants a timeout. We're going to take it with them here on the Averett Sports Network. And ladies and gentlemen, In the words of one of my favorite shows from, well, I can't really say it was my favorite show at the time because I wasn't alive yet, but in the words of the theme songs from one of my favorite shows, welcome back here to the Averett University Grant Center. Of course, the TV show I'm talking about is Welcome Back, Kotter, as they had the theme that went a little something like, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. And after that little performance right there, you can see why I broadcast sports and I do not sing. So Averett now on the inbound. That's going to be Chambers getting over to Carthon. Carthon back to Chambers. 74-44. Davis Robinson over to Wieters. Wieters a spinning J, and she's got it to fly. Speaking of spinning J, that would be a great line of convenience stores / truck stops. Now that I think about it, there might actually already be a chain of them. Can't remember if it's Flying J or Flying P. So Bowen now with the ball. She's going to get it over to number 13, Sampson. Sampson gets it over to number 4, Brooks. Brooks back into Bowen. Bowen puts up the shot. Will not get it to fall. Carthon with the rebound. So Carthon gets it over to Davis Robinson. Robinson to Chambers. And there's another 3 attempts from Davis Robinson. And she is going to tickle the nylon on that one. 79-44 Averett. Entering the final 2 minutes of the game, coming up on the 2-minute mark here in this one. And wow, good job there by Brooks, showing concentration to take that one in off her body and maintain possession of it despite really being guarded well by the Cougars. She cannot translate that into points, but there's an over-the-top pass into Carthon. Carthon puts up the jumper. So, ladies and gentlemen, Brooke Carthon coming to Averett from Atlanta, Georgia, which is about 420-plus miles away from. And Scott trying to get over to Davis Robinson, and the official there on the right side actually has to do a little ducking there. So we got Texan, Johnson, and Smith back into the game for the Cougars. Meanwhile, Deal, and I believe it's number 12, Slaughter, back into the game for the Spirits. So Coach Lewis and Coach Brown really, they have a lot to work with here with this Salem roster. As I mentioned earlier, only one senior, or actually, excuse me, they have, yes, only one senior on the team, also one junior. So Smith now with the ball is going to get over to Carthon. Carthon back to Smith. Smith gets it over to Johnson. Johnson over to Texan. Back over to Johnson. Johnson to Carthon. Carthon back to Johnson. Back to Carthon. I think we can call this the senior connection right now. And Raven Johnson is going to throw up the 3. Cannot get it to fall. So Bowen over to number 13, Sampson. Sampson back over to Brooks. Brooks thought about the 3-point game right there. Decides against it, and Bowen, she launches a shot that she will also have to validate the parking on, as that one was quite far away. So Carthon puts it up for the 3. Will not get it to fall. Number 4, Brooks with the defensive board. She's going to get the Hail Mary pass down to number 13, Sampson. And wow, Sampson doing a great job right there, hauling that one in, coming in at full speed, controlling herself enough to get the shot up as she was going out of bounds. And Chambers getting hit with the personal. That is her second personal, team 3rd. Sampson puts up the shot, gets it to fall. So Smith into Johnson now on the inbound. Johnson back to Chambers. So Chambers trying to work the ball in here. He's going to get it over to Johnson. Johnson puts it up, and she will not get it to fall. Texan tries to save it, unable to, and Salem will get possession. with 35.9 seconds remaining here in this contest. So number 4, Brooks, gets it over to Deal. That ball is swatted away. Carthon comes down with it. And I think Averett will probably just maintain possession down there, as you see Coach Bollinger, Averett assistant in her first year, just telling Averett to slow down. And here comes the warm applause appreciation from the Averett fans here on Senior Day, as 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 79-50 is your score. Averett sends its 5 seniors out with a 29-point victory. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to keep it locked right here. We will be right back with the Kickback Jacks postgame show here on the Averett Sports Network.